local news, local weather, and local sports. On your side. Channel 2 News at 6 starts now.
Well, this weekend is all about celebrating Black heritage, culture, and community. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kate Welsh. Chauffeur Claudine is off tonight. And of course, we are talking about Juneteenth. All across Western New York, festivities are underway. And tonight, to On Your Side's Andy Payton brings us the latest on what's going on around town ahead of tomorrow's holiday. Hi, Andy.
Hey there, Kate. It's been 2 years since Juneteenth was officially recognized as a federal holiday, and while it hasn't been long, it doesn't mean the holiday isn't one of the most important, especially here in Buffalo. Yesterday, the entire city came out to support the holiday through a parade that featured speeches from the mayor, Byron Brown, and the governor, Kathy Hochul, who touched on how important it is for the community to acknowledge this day in the wake of a tragedy that struck tops just over a year ago. Take a listen.
The first festival after May 14th was very somber, was very reflective. This is going to be a more celebratory festival.
And to tell the rest of the world that 1 year and a month after we made international news as being the scene of one of the most heinous acts of white supremacy in our nation's history, here we are to say we are back even stronger, more united than ever before.
Tomorrow, celebrations will continue as well with various events across Western New York, including service events like food drives and community cleanups, and additional parades and festivals taking place up in Niagara Falls. And in addition to the cultural festivals with food and performers, those organizing the events are hoping the day can provide an opportunity to those in the region to give back. Now, tomorrow we'll be sure to have full coverage of these events, and we'll have a list at WGRZ.com on our website of all of the events taking place. For now, in the studio, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.
Andy, thank you. And we want to take a moment tonight to officially hail Queen Nana. The Buffalo Juneteenth Festival has named her as the inaugural Festival Queen. Her name is Constance Eve, and officials say she is, quote, an exemplary individual and a source of inspiration for the entire Western New York community. Queen Nana founded the group Women for Human Rights and Dignity in 1980, which has provided women in the community with resources for decades. Now an update to a story we first brought you last night at 6. Tonight, New York State Police tell us that the people involved in a deadly head-on collision in the town of Freedom yesterday were related. They say 21-year-old Evan Klink intentionally crossed into oncoming traffic to hit his sister, 24-year-old Dahlia Klink. 2 children were killed in that crash. Another child, Dahlia, and 19-year-old Cameron Klink were all taken to the hospital by Mercy Flight. Evan Klink was treated for minor injuries and taken to a state police station for further evaluation. And an update to this scene on the 33 near the I-90 West ramp in Cheektowaga. Tonight, police tell us that someone on a motorcycle was killed in a crash. It closed down the road between Harlem Road and Genesee Street for several hours yesterday. The victim's name has not yet been released. And new tonight is a teen recovering in the hospital after being shot during a large party on Spring Street near Sycamore. According to a spokesperson for the Buffalo Police Department, the 18-year-old was grazed around 10:15. Anyone with information is asked to call or text the confidential tip line at the number on your screen. Well, tonight the weekend may be coming to a close, so we're looking ahead to help you plan for the week. Tomorrow, the Buffalo Museum of Science is holding its annual free admission day. With schools across Western New York closed to recognize Juneteenth, families might be looking for a way to spend the day together. The museum says it's the perfect opportunity to explore interactive exhibits and galleries. And the Birchfield Nature and Art Center is welcoming visitors into its art gallery for the first full-sized exhibit in years. The West Seneca Art Society exhibit was installed today, with the doors opening tomorrow morning at 11. It will be available Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11 to 2, Sundays noon to 4. The opening reception will be held this coming Friday. And tonight we are celebrating Western New York and the return of the Kenmore Farmers Market. It kicked off today at the intersection of Delaware Road and Delaware Avenue. Dozens of vendors offering everything from produce and honey to baked and canned goods. One first-time business owner says she was just overwhelmed by the success of today's event.
It means a lot because I've always been a baker. It's a passion of mine. It's not what I do full-time for a living, but I've been hoping that it would be. And so this is an opportunity to get out there and meet the Buffalo community as a baker and invite people to try my pies.
The Kenmore Farmers Market continues every single Sunday through the end of October from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we're also celebrating Dad this Father's Day with cars and coffee at the Eastern Hills Mall. The family-friendly event is aimed at building a community among local car fanatics and their families with an unforgettable car show. Organizers say the turnout was great today.
We knew the Father's Day one would be big. I don't think we anticipated it'd be this big, but we love it. We love to see the families out, strolling, looking at the cars. Like I said, something for everybody here.
And more than 1,000 cars were part of the lineup today, including cutting-edge supercars, antique vehicles, and unique builds. The next event is coming up July 30th, with more car shows planned for September and October. And tonight, we would love to see all the ways that you're celebrating with Dad this Father's Day. You can send your pictures through the Two on Your Side mobile app by clicking on the Near Me feature, or just post on social media. Use the hashtag #BeOn2, and you might just see those pictures shared online or right here on air. And what is better than a little bit of golf on Father's Day? Lindsay joining us now with sports. Hi, friend.
Oh yes, Kate, I'm sure that golf was part of many Father's Day wishes today. And luckily, if you couldn't make it out to a course, all you have to do is turn on Channel 2 on NBC, where the final round of the U.S. Open has been underway since a bit earlier this afternoon. But now that we've got you here, stick with us for another minute or two. Some of the top runners in the tournament have just now teed off a bit ago, including Ricky Fowler, Wyndham Clark, Rory McIlroy, and the guy who made headlines yesterday. How about Scottie Scheffler making those Scottie Scheffler moves? Just in case you missed it, and before the heat of the final round really gets going, check this out. Scheffler came out of round 3 sitting at T4 and 7 under par after ending his round with an eagle right here on 17 and a birdie on 18. Would you look at that? Very impressive. Other top runners of the tournament, Ricky Fowler, of course, he's been there all week, led after 2 rounds and broke a few records along the way, and the only one to give him much trouble in round 3 was Wyndham Clark here. Now they ended the night sharing the lead at 10 under after Fowler lipped out his par attempt here on 18 and Clark closed out with a birdie. And finally, Rory McIlroy started his round today at T3 and 9 under par. He's looking to end his major championship drought, and it would be his first title since 2014. A later start again, but we'll have you covered with the best moments of the day tonight at 11. And now for some baseball action over at Salem Field. If you're not a golf dad, maybe baseball is more your forte, and if it's neither, then you just may be out of luck for now. The Bisons fell in the series finale to the Syracuse Mets with a final of 7-4 earlier today. A big crowd of nearly 12,000 fans in the stands for the back-and-forth affair, but it just wasn't their day. But I'll tell you whose day it was. Bison's infielder Spencer Horwitz was called up to the show at the start of the weekend, and today he made his MLB debut as the designated hitter for the Blue Jays. He drilled a base hit for his first big league at bat and then gets an RBI for his second of the day. I'm sure a moment and day that he'll never forget. In studio, I'm Lindsay Moppert, Channel 2 Sports.
Well, it was a really hazy day across Western New York. I mean, it was the haze that you could see across the region once you walk outside. We're going to kind of dissect it and examine it in a live camera in just a moment. But this is going to be the trend as we head through tomorrow, too, and even into part of Tuesday before we start to really clear this out briefly because, well, it's just pervasive. It's still sticking around. It's still kind of churning up in Ontario and Quebec. But look at these temperatures right now. The Texas heat has not let up just yet. Look at that. Houston at 95 degrees, El Paso at 100. They are expecting triple-digit heat index values. No thank you. We'll say that, but we are getting into some warmth that will be headed our way, especially what is headed from the Midwest, from Des Moines and Chicago. That will make its way into Buffalo pretty soon, but we're comfortable right now. But again, there's a ton of sunshine, but you can't really see it because looks like this outside. So this is the haze that we're seeing, and it's just kind of parked here. Now, why is it just staying there? Well, that's a great question. We don't have any wind today that's really going to kind of move this out or break this up. So it is just kind of hovering there. It's stagnant. Literally, the winds are so light today that it's just sitting there. It's like if you were trying to push your car that's in park. It won't go anywhere. Now, if you have it in neutral and you have more people pushing it along, it may clear out a little quicker, but not today because this is pretty much all we've got, and this haze is sticking around for tomorrow as well. In terms of current temperatures right now, it's 75 in Buffalo, it's 70 in Olean. Generally, everybody has been close to 70 degrees today, especially in the southern tier, but warmer as you got towards the Niagara frontier. In terms of high temperatures, so we have kind of this cooler stretch behind us and warmer temperatures on the way. We're headed into the 80s for most of this week, and it is going to get a little more humid across western New York too. You will notice that trend, and I do think that many people will start to either have a fan or an air conditioner on as soon as we head into Monday. I don't think that's too soon. But in terms of what we have, so certainly watching this current setup where we have the smoke right now. I would say areas that have the yellow and the orange, that's where it's the most concentrated at this point. So from Buffalo down towards Gowanda, over towards Dunkirk, Fredonia, Pomfret, and also back up towards Niagara Falls, over towards Barker, Alcott, right across Lake Ontario. Certainly smoky there, and even worse as you head out towards Rochester and head out towards areas like Clyde and Rose out in Wayne County as well. So this is kind of the current setup, and you notice the winds aren't too strong, so it's not really, again, doing anything to get it out of here. What's in store as we head into the evening hours? This is suggesting that it will start to dissipate a little bit for Monday, but, you know, I would say areas north of the 90, that's where you're still going to be dealing with a bit of the smoke. And notice that it's coming from an easterly wind, so what we've got is a very light wind, so it's just going to keep it really, I'd say, kind of in the northern section of our viewing area. But as we head towards the afternoon and evening, notice it will start to kind of fill in once again. So I would say it dissipates a little bit as we're kind of working on this scale here. It does get a little better in terms of the haze, but by Tuesday, there will be some improvements. Notice that the winds start to pick up a little bit, some more clean air headed towards Rochester, but it kind of has to work its way all the way from the northeast to Buffalo. So we'll kind of watch that. No change to the drought monitor. We get these updates on Thursdays, but it's really dry. Lawns everywhere have been really parched. So we expect maybe a shift in kind of the moderate drought as we head towards Thursday, just because kind of had to account for some of the rain that fell last week. So just abnormally dry conditions as you head further east. But in terms of what's on the way, not much. So let's take you to Monday morning. No issues for those that have the day off. You do get to enjoy sunshine. It's just the haze that you have to deal with. A few clouds during the afternoon. Some of these try and squeeze out a brief shower, and I want to stress like super brief, but not really going to be all that intense. Now, once we get to Tuesday, watch as some of those showers start to try and bubble up in the southern tier. I do think that this is the best possibility as we get a little bit of that heat in the afternoon, especially towards the state line. Bradford, McKean, and Power counties definitely expecting better chances for some rain showers, but I would say it kind of hugs the southern tier. Notice that everyone from Kenmore and Hamburg and Springville, Batavia, and northward, you're dry on Tuesday. So that's why we're just predicting a little bit of rain shower activity. Some of them could have an isolated rumble or two of thunder in some of those cells as they kind of bubble up during the afternoon, but it is not going to be a significant torrential downpour. But by the time we get to Wednesday, we're expecting possibly another shower. But again, these are so imprecise at this point because it's Sunday and we're trying to look ahead to Wednesday. I would not bet on that just yet. So this is a system that's going to kind of just swing by and bring some of those showers to the state line. We're watching that kind of work its way through on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, again, this is trying to push some of that moisture back in. I don't expect that to happen. But Wednesday certainly has a bit of a question mark, just because, you know, I'd say that it's like a coin toss at this point in terms of if it happens and if it materializes. Now, Thursday is a great day, but Friday, that's when things are going to start to change. So the clouds are with us for Friday, and notice some of those rain showers trying to work their way into western New York. I'd say Friday, especially for the second half of the day, towards the afternoon and into the evening, that's when we're expecting the rain showers to kind of begin. And then as we head towards Saturday, it looks like it's going to be a bit soggy. And again, like I mentioned yesterday, high school graduations will be happening all weekend, and it looks like we will be dealing with some rain. I would say probably Saturday afternoon is also kind of the core of the rain. Some of this will linger into Sunday as well. So we're going to watch that really closely because this is much needed rain, but this hugs the entire eastern seaboard. But this is just one model, so we have to kind of wait. This is still a little far out, but generally the trend is suggesting that we do have some rain on the way, so we're going to watch that very closely. So in terms of what to expect, I'd say Monday through Thursday, it's dry, it's quite warm, and it's generally pretty much all the same in terms of temperatures. We're in the low 80s, some days getting into the mid 80s. And then by Friday, that's when the clouds are back and we bring in the chance for some rain showers. You'll notice that the rain could begin as early as Friday afternoon, lasting into Saturday, and then also continuing into early Sunday as well. But I would say that this is very summer-like warmth, especially since summer begins on Wednesday for the south towns in the southern tier. It's a little cooler. I would say there's more cloud cover on Tuesday. That's why we're dealing with just slightly cooler temperatures across Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. And then, you know, I would say it's drier for south towns. Certainly, again, the chance for showers really is for the southern tier on Tuesday, and then the chance for rain for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as we're expecting temperatures to be a bit on the cooler side. Thanks for tuning in for an extended look at your forecast.